Welcome to Steve Flicks. I'm Steve-O.
I'm Esrat.
In this episode, Beetlejuice. Who doesn't love Beetlejuice? I don't. I'm just kidding. I love Beetlejuice. No, I will have some pluses and minuses of the movie because no
Same here.
movie is perfect.
Right.
But that's the fun part about it. So, of course, Beetlejuice, 1988, Warner Brothers movie, directed by the infamous Tim Burton. If you don't know who Tim Burton is, Google him. I'm pretty sure that 20 of your favorite classic cult movies that you've ever liked, he made them. So, just a brilliant guy.
Exactly.
Okay, so the story of Beetlejuice, right? So he's a bioexorcist maniac. He only comes out when you say his name 3 times. Ironically, his name's spelt Betel and with a G. I mean, it's just weird spelling.
That was getting to that.
Betelgeist, or something like that. So it makes it confusing. But the Maitlands, die. They pass away, and their property, their home, is overrun by humans. And they need Beetlejuice's help to get these a-holes out of there as soon as possible. Now, let's see here. I'll let you start, bro. What do you think? What do you know about Beetlejuice, your history with Beetlejuice?
Well, Beetlejuice, my history started with it was the cartoon, actually. I forget. I know the movie came out first. The cartoon came out, I believe, in '89, just a year later. But when I was introduced to Beetlejuice, it was the cartoon. So he's goofy. He's all over the joint. Whatever. All fucking. He's with that girl Lydia. They're like best friends. They go stir shit up and like what did they call it? The Nether Realm, or I don't know what they called it. When they go back to the death or whatever. They come living. Yeah.
Whatever.
So. So they do that, whatever. Okay. They have these weird characters. This fucking furball Texan dude with a cowboy hat. This little chihuahua. This bony dude. Fucking Schlock. I can't remember his name. But anyway, what I'm getting into is the cartoon, right? So that's what I was introduced towards Beetlejuice. So then all of a sudden, they made a movie. So I get to see a live action movie of Beetlejuice. So there's the theme song, very similar to the cartoon, almost exactly, right? Getting excited. Woof. Wow, what's it going to be like? Live action, like my Turtles, right? The Turtles were awesome. Cartoon, now they're live action. So now it's going to be Beetlejuice, real life action. Him, Lydia, best friends, teaming up against some kind of like weird creature or whatever. Well, it comes to my surprise, Beetlejuice is the villain of this movie, actually. Fucking pervert, fucking 1,000-year-old dude trying to hook up with a fucking 14-year-old girl. Fucking, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I freaked out as a kid. So as a fan of the cartoon going into the movie, I was just shocked. Like, I didn't know what the hell to think of it. And but as the movie progressed, which Beetlejuice only has 12 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe, if we're lucky. It wasn't his story, which was weird. It was the named after him. It's like the cartoon. Got confused. Beetlegeist. They even pronounce it Beetlegeist, which was weird. It threw me off again. I'm like, wait a minute, it's Beetlejuice, right? They even call him Beetlejuice, right? So anyway, the story goes with the Maitlands, like you said already, how they had their accent, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it was a movie where Beetlejuice was thrown to the side, and it was mainly about the main characters, which is the Maitlands, and then, the Dietzes or whatever. But my shock thing was I thought Lydia and Beetlejuice would be a team, like in the cartoon. So you could see how freaked out I was when he was the villain. But I guess we'll get more into that in a little bit.
Right. So once again, the movie was made in 1980. I just looked it up. 1989 through 1991 was the cartoon.
Oh, okay. So I was right. 89 it came
out. Anyways, no, you're right. Right off the bat, so the cartoon, you're right. It had a really catchy theme song. Obviously, it had the Beetlejuice song that you just played, but I think they added a little bit more to it, more playful, I think, something like that. There was a little roller coaster thing, really attracted children. I know it did with me, and I can't remember. I think it was Burger King. Burger King had the little toys for the Happy Meals or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Real cool. And you're talking about like that big furry cowboy or whatever. They had all the characters.
Uh-huh.
And no, just real cool, real clever cartoon. And I really can't remember what I saw first. I mean, as we were growing up through the 80s, man, I mean, they were real slow on movie releases.
Yeah, they were.
I wouldn't be surprised if I watched the cartoon first. And I do have to agree, they went from best friends, BFFs in the cartoon to literally a what is it called? Statutory rape situation.
Yes, it's very weird.
Anyways, now here's my one gripe. I mean, I have multiple gripes, but I think just looking at everything, my biggest gripe is I thought that the Maitlands could have died differently.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I knew they lived a simple life and they didn't do too much, but if you guys watch the scene, they're both seat belted in this car. And when they are, originally ripped through the side of the bridge cover, the window is down, and the husband, he what's his name,
Adam.
He sticks his hand out the window towards the dog, so that confirms that the window is open. How come he didn't take his seatbelt off and swim out the window? I don't.
Take a Baldwin brother, bro. If he was destined to die in one of his movies. I mean, I was like, what the hell? Like, yeah, that's bullshit. The damn window was down. I mean, he's like, oh no, oh man, I would have been yelling, get out of there, you damn fucking, I would have like opened the door, right?
Yeah.
So
I was looking at it, and I saw that. So the wife was driving, and she let me see here. She had my apologies. So Barbara is the wife, right? Played by Gina Davis. Adam, of course, Alec Baldwin. That's what I was trying to say earlier. But Barbara, she's driving, and when the car is tilting outside, and the little dog's on the little board, basically keeping them level, she can't open her door. I can see that. But this dude Adam, he could have taken his seatbelt off, jumped out the window, or opened his door, quickly got out before the dog jumped off. And he doesn't do any of that. Now, the one thing that I guess I'm imagining is when they suddenly fall, they would smack their head on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Knocking themselves out.
That's what I was thinking. Like, to make it believable to me, I have to literally use my imagination. It shouldn't make you think that hard. You know?
But here's the thing, though. They had their seatbelts on. You can't slam your head on the dashboard, dude.
See what I mean?
I don't know. So, I don't know. I would just think like the impact, but like I said, with the seatbelt on, you can't hit your head on the roof of the car, and you can't hit your head on the dashboard. Windows are open. And let me ask you this. If you're in that situation, are you going to give up, or are you going to fight?
How old were they, bro? They were like maybe late 30s? What were they now?
No, they must have been like mid-20s actually.
Oh,
I think they were portrayed as a young couple. I think they in real life were in their 30s.
Yeah,
but I think they were portrayed as a younger couple.
But like going back to what you're saying, that's why I bring up their age. Like they just gave up. Like there's no one. Oh, you know what? I only got a couple more years left. I'm diabetic, dying. I haven't been taking insulin lately. Fucking come on, man. The actor looks obviously 30s, but like like you said, they're younger. You're gonna fight. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Like right away, just your instinct, your brain. You're gonna fucking take that shit off, or like that's it. Yeah. But whenever that's like I said, this is a classic movie, of course, love it. But at the same time, we're here to pick at it because there are gripes about it, especially me too. And that's just the beginning. My gripe started before your gripe, bro. When I saw their wardrobe, her boring ass dress, that fucking dumb, boring fucking Where's Waldo on a boring day, fucking boring shirt, pants. You know, they're just a dull couple to me, dude. Like right off the back is telling me, oof, where's Beetlejuice already, bro? Where is he at? That's where I feel.
Too bad he doesn't come out till what, the last 40 minutes of the movie. Good bits throughout. But here's the thing, bro. So your gripe is their wardrobe. My gripe is um the crash scene, the death scene.
Yeah,
But then
yep, that's mine too.
my next gripe is, remember the netherworld or the sand world or whatever?
Hmm.
How come they're able to walk to their house? Wouldn't they be in netherworld? Because remember, they're never allowed to leave their house, but they're
Right,
able to walk from the lake there.
right. And then all of a sudden they do say they don't remember how they got there, but they did walk. You know.
Right, right. So I don't know. Those are a couple, like, some loops that I saw. Um, but other than that, the Maitlands, they're dead. They end up finding their book.
Handbook for the recently deceased.
Right, their handbook. And with the help of Juno, they're able to basically, I don't know, she's like a caseworker, so she helps them, deal with the living in the house. And she gives them tidbits, this, that, and the other. They never really spent a lot of time reading that handbook. I would be real interested. Like, what kind of Easter eggs or tidbits, hints would they give me? I'm pretty. It was a thick ass book, dude, and they never even read it.
Right?
There's
They
a
just
scene
like
where
literally
Adam.
opened it like right one time to like make a magic door appear. I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
like, and you're telling me that if if it was me and I put out that book and it had this little thing to like draw a door and knock 3 times it opens, I'm just gonna put the book down and that's it, bro. I'm gonna sit down for the next 4 hours and read that thing over and over and over. What else could I do? What is
I
it?
know. Yeah, like I said, it was a great. It was, man. It was just so clever, man. All the different deaths. That dude with that freaking, he ate like a rib. I don't know how the hell it went sideways, dude. But that rib, there was the guy eaten by the shark.
Oh, yep, the guy with the
Oh,
cigarette. He was burned alive,
mhm.
I'm assuming.
There's that the smart ass receptionist, dude. She's like, "That's what happens to you. This is what happens to me." She slit her wrists or whatever.
Yep, that's why it gave you a little didn't come out and say it, but a little subliminal messaging on that kind of hint. She goes on that one scene that sticks with me. She goes, "This is what happened when he dies. This is what happens when they die." And then she goes, "If I knew then what I knew, if I knew now," how does she say it? "If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have my
Uh-huh.
little accident." She shows her wrist and like
Oh,
laughing.
right.
So it's kind of like showing you, okay, so this is what happens to suicides. Is that what they're trying to tell you? Which is
Yeah.
interesting. You know,
Mhm.
and yeah, then it goes back to we'll get to Beetlejuice in a little bit because where the fuck is he, right? It's Beetlejuice. Fucking come on, bro. Where the fuck you
He's
at?
on the title.
30 minutes in, bro. Fucking,
Uh-huh.
ooh, man.
And then, so, talking about the Dietzes, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's Lydia, the mother. Um, the husband's name, right? He's
Charles Dietz.
Charles, and of course Winona Ryder's Lydia. And so, long story short, they they seem like an oddball family. Of course, the daughter, she's dark gothic or whatever, which was kind of weird back then, but at the same time, nowadays, I mean, who's not gothic? I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It got even more gothic right in the '90s. So
Yeah.
it wasn't. That's actually more normal than the two oddball parents that she had, I think.
Yeah.
And but the reason why I'm bringing up is when they see that their house is haunted, right? They're oddball, so they embrace it and they want to have an amusement park,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool, whatever, right? They're greedy or whatever, business mindset. But I just don't like towards the end of the movie where I don't know if you recall, but they kind of take a backseat parent role.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles upstairs, oh, looks like maybe you got a needle on the paper or whatever the heck, and it's like, I don't know, man. I would have packed up. I would have got the hell out of there. I would have sold the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Take my daughter. Instead, they're just like, I guess we'll just live with it. What? And be a second, back. What is it? Backseat parent. Like, I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah, that
weird.
made zero sense. Zero sense. And then what made zero sense now, since we're gonna get to Beetlejuice, is why do they spell it Beetlegeist? Why do they pronounce it Beetlegeist when the movie's obviously Beetlejuice? But remember, first when they call him that Adam Maitland, It says, yeah, bioexorcist, blah, 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 called Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. So he calls him Beetlejuice. It looks like it's spelled Beetlejuice, but then someone comes out and says Beetlejuice. Even Beetlejuice says Beetlejuice. Remember, he gives Lydia the little charades, whatever. It was kind of confusing to me, and to this day, it's still a little confusing why they did that.
Yeah, because even his tombstone was spelled Betel, or whatever it was, right? Betel looks like Betel.
Right? Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse.
Betelgeuse, right? Yeah, something weird. So yeah, very very strange on that. But you know, some positives though. I mean, super creative, super just out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's funny. I'm not going to get onto the Ghostbuster thing, but you know, Ghostbusters fighting ghosts. This was a guy who was bioexorcist, so he's actually a ghost who's fighting humans. So it's like a flip flop from the Ghostbusters, which was I thought was creative.
Yeah, it was.
Which again, it just goes back. Where the f is this dude? And then he comes out and he's the most special thing that we've ever seen in 1988.
I know.
Michael Keaton does a fantastic job, man. He's out of this world. He's hilarious. You know, just incredible acting job. And I know he's got he was a comedian, right? Stand-up comedian.
I don't know. That's a good. I haven't heard that.
I think he started out as a stand-up comedian and then got his little small parts, in some of these comedy movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never forget, somebody once said that some of the most darkest actors are comedians. So Michael Keaton really got dark.
Yeah, he did.
For a dark director, Tim Burton, for a dark movie. And the casting of Michael Keaton was perfect because the guy got dark, but he was also energetic and funny as hell, man. Just hilarious, kicking over little things.
Yes, he was hilarious. And then they got away with a couple of F-bombs. That nice fucking model grabbed his fucking junk. That was hilarious. He puts on that boring ass fucking outfit that Adam Maitland wears. He's like, "Oh, come on, man, we shop in the same store." Fucking what fucking store is this? Fucking Woolworths or what the fuck? I was like, yeah.
Oh man.
But that was hilarious. He fucking put on his boring ass outfit, bro.
Yeah. And then some of the special effects, man, they were incredible. The scene where he spins his head and he snaps it or whatever. And then there was always that scene. I always wish I could have saw his face, dude, where they show the back of his head and he does that. Those little arms and things come out. You never know what the hell he looked like, but I was always interested.
Right. Even the cartoon pulled that crap. I wanted to know what the hell he looked like. They just showed the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I was super intrigued. So story is pretty solid, other than the little death scene or whatever. But other than that, it is a smooth transition. Obviously, the Dietzes, the living family there, they want to basically run their house. They bought the property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's their property, and then these folks are hunting them. Even though that we shoot for the Maitlands, right? We want them to be, we love them, right? They're a cute couple, whatever, little nice down-to-earth family. Right. But they're actually to me, the dirtbags in the movie, because that's the Dietz's home, dude. They bought it fair and square. They didn't kill him. They didn't kill the Maitlands to get the house. So
yeah, exactly.
Just look at it. Anything else, bro, on story, acting, and characters?
Yeah, with the story, I like this one scene with the caseworker, where she's talking about Beetlejuice. Now, this shit, when I was a kid, it gave me the creeps. That this guy, he portrays himself as like he's funny, like he's bumbling, right? He looks like kind of like an idiot. He's always hyper. He looks basically like he kind of looks harmless. He just has that out of this world personality, like all hyper, right? Hyped up. Oh, he's okay. He's like that. He's like that all the time. He gets to know he's a cool guy, right? Like he seems like that type of dude, but that's all a show. The way she tells a story about he used to be my assistant, and then she goes, she's telling the Maitlands that she goes, got into this bioexorcist thing and claimed he could get rid of the living, and then she goes, he got into more trouble, and like they're gonna listen, and she doesn't continue the story. But that right there tells me that this motherfucker is evil. And then he finally shows how evil he is here and there, right? But then he goes back to his little, oh, I'm chilly, I'm cool, I'm just having a good time, man. No, he's a fucking demon, man. He's evil as shit. That's what gets that, like, this character can be like that, but then you know he's evil the way. I just wanted to hear that story of what she said about him. What was she going to continue on saying? But then it always makes me laugh how she goes, I see he's been sleazing around in your cemetery. It's fucking sleaze, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know it's funny because man, by the end of the movie, dude, because you're right, he's an evil demon character,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he's got, you know, a lot of powers, you know, but you know, at the end of the movie, man, we're all, I don't know, as a fan, I was so worked up and excited. I mean, the whole scene where he turns into the carousel, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, he's like pitching a baseball, but it's that metal piece on Barbara's mouth.
Yeah.
She's trying to say Beetlejuice, 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 and I just thought that was so creative. And then, man, the classic scene. I don't know what it is, but it always captures my heart. Is that last ending scene where he's in the waiting room and he's taking advantage of people, bro. He's like, he's talking shit. He's doing his little jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was so hilarious. But
It was
yeah,
hilarious, man.
yeah, and you know, and it's like it's so the irony is like, man, we want more, right? That's 1988, and here we are, 2021, and they're just what talking about, right? Part two.
They're just talking. Well, they've talked about it before, which was back in 88, 89, I believe it was 1990, 91 was going to be the release year for Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian was what it was going to be called. And I saw countless videos about it. Read countless things about it that basically the plot line goes that Charles Dietz had bought this Hawaiian resort or whatever hell. He was building this resort in Hawaii. He bought that property and like they finished building it, and it turns out to have been like I guess they did on Indian burial ground or some bullshit like that, something like that. And then basically, like from what I've read, there's this demon that comes out, whatever, and I don't know why they would do it or Lydia would do it, but she calls Beetlejuice for help. And eventually, I guess this movie was going to be the one to where, like, okay, it's going to be like the cartoon. It's going to be the one where, like, he becomes kind of the good guy or whatever. And he goes up against his other ghost or demonic thing, whatever. But it was real cheesy from what I read. Fucking, like, he had this fucking, at the end of the movie, I think the climax was, like, he had this fucking surfing contest or some bullshit with the other demon and fucking, or after they think he's good, he ends up turning evil at the end. He turns into this being called Jucifer, which is basically like Beetlejuice, but turned into like kind of like a mixture of him and Satan. And then they got to get rid of him some other way with some spell, and he goes back to wherever he came from, which I thought sounded ridiculous. But I mean, I really wanted more Beetlejuice. The only thing about it was Michael Keaton was signed on to comebacks. Everybody else was going to come back except for the Dietzes. The Maitlands. They were going to be stuck at that fucking house. And then because they were going to be in Hawaii. They were going to be in Hawaii this time.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it would have been a total failure. I don't know. Tim Burton was under pressure or something. They wanted him to turn out another one. Well, ironically and thankfully, I mean, sucks we didn't get a Beetlejuice 2, but, I mean, would you rather have that Beetlejuice 2 or would you rather have Batman Returns? Because Batman Returns was the movie he chose over Beetlejuice 2. And that's a different show altogether. Yeah. You know, we'll get to that when we get to that. But I'm Batman Returns all the way when it came to this story of Beetlejuice 2. Now, if it would have been a good story, I don't know.
Yeah. And you mentioned keywords, getting rid of Beetlejuice. So what do you think about the way they got rid of Beetlejuice in this movie? The sand monster takes him out.
I guess they trying to say he was kind of the cartoon made it, bro. I'm going by the cartoon. He just has a scene where he's reading the newspapers, they're sandworms, whatever, right? So he obviously doesn't like the fucking things. But it didn't make sense to me. I guess what? See, this is the problem. Like I said, I'm nitpicking because I love the movie. But whenever you have to have me use my imagination, just explain to me or like show me to where like it's easier to show me why this is happening. Because why was the fucking? It seemed to me like the worlds were merging, right? Because he was there. Is that what it was? They didn't really explain it. He's out. He's doing his bullshit. That's the only way it could have happened with the sandworm coming through and fucking eating him or smashing him, whatever.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it takes. I don't know these sandworms, bro. Obviously, they're I've never been a sandworm worm handler or was interested in being one, but Barbara sure as hell fucking became a whisperer for sandworms within 3 minutes, and then fucking just rode him like a fucking horse and fucking smashed it to Beetlejuice's fucking ass, and he's gone, I guess.
I know.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to rush it out. Like, okay, we don't know where we're gonna go next. We're on a deadline. Let's just fucking smash him with a sandworm, and that's it.
Right. And it's funny you mention that because okay, the sandworm takes the guy out, right? So he's back in that waiting room at the end of the movie. Did he die again? He's got to start all over.
That's what
in processing.
Right. Yeah.
He's always been on his own though, right? He's always been a loner, right? That was the whole story. He was an assistant. He had a job, had a career as a ghost, right? For Juno. And then all of a sudden, he's on his own. He's buried. Fucking had some problems, or however she worded it. Yeah. And then he dies again. And then now he's back in the system. He's back. He's cool. He's all right. I guess I got to check in and get some benefits or something. I don't know.
He's an unemployment office, bro.
Exactly, bro. So no. Anyways, so the effects were good. I liked the effects. One effects, and I know I mentioned a couple for Beetlejuice, but one of the effects that I liked was the Maitlands, the ones where they're in Juno's office and she goes, "Show me what you got," and they do the eyeballs on the fingers and he stretches his nose and all this thing into his head, and so that was pretty cool to see that live action or whatever style.
That was cool.
And then of course soundtrack music, man. That Danny Elfman.
Ooh, I love that.
He comes in, him and Tim Burton, freaking sidekicks. Duo, whatever. So anyways, I thought it was a great soundtrack. Really brings you in. And then of course the Deo, whatever, the Caribbean calypso song, and in the middle of the movie when the shrimp grab their face and throw them, man, it was cool. It was real clever.
Yes, it was cool. Hell yeah. I wanted to add on about the ending. Did you know when they screened the movie, they didn't even have that ending? They just had Lydia doing the dance and floating up and those football players there, and that's it. They didn't even add it. They didn't have the Beetlejuice, the waiting room ending. And because when they did the test screen for the audiences were like, they wanted more Beetlejuice. Yeah. So they went to Tim Burton and they're like, okay, the studio gave him a little bit more money. Let's bring back Michael Keaton, dress him up as his perverted self, and fucking let's get it going. So then he had the funny scene where he's there fucking rubbing on women's fucking legs, half of women, fucking gets called out. Then he goes, fucking dude, he's like, oh, I don't know what her problem is, right? Fucking, he's the good guy, right? Fucking, that ass was there for the taking. He's gonna take it. He's the bad guy, right? It makes me laugh my ass out because that dude, that shrunken head, bro, he's like, I don't know what her problem is. He's all normally chicks. He fucking looks at him like, oh shit, this dude fucking, he has no brain. Like he's just fucking, not all there.
Yeah.
He's fucking waiting in that waiting room, man. He's like, and I felt like that, man, one time in my life.
Shrunken head.
Fucking for something. I look at the number and like, oh man, I'm at number 4. And it's like fucking, like, geez, like number 4's on there and I got number 99. Then, his little con artist gig, he tries to get that Indian guy, whatever, fucking, what he was, like that voodoo doctor, what he was.
Yeah.
Does a little switcheroo, and then he shrinks his head. That whole scene was not supposed to be in the movie until people were complaining we need a little bit more Beetlejuice, and then they did it, which I thought was great. Tied it up because to me, if they would have just left it with the Lydia, this and that, like, oh man, to me it would have been a sour note because it already felt rushed to me, in my opinion.
It did. Yeah.
So I'm glad they went back and they tied the knot on it.
Yeah, because they created this long, detailed story, and then it was like, oh shit, how do we end this movie? How do we get rid of this? He's already a ghost. How do we get rid of this dude? So it was like very rushed at the end. And you're right, man. We all wanted Beetlejuice more. That was 1988. We still want him. So any future news?
From what I heard, Michael Keaton's interested in coming back to the role of Beetlejuice, which is that's what I'm excited about. It's just and here's the ironic thing is it was a huge hit. It was the #1 movie of 1988. Back in back 1988, it was #1. So made a ton of money. It was like a movie to where like they're just trying to make some profit, and it just became a huge hit. So there was always a sequel in the cards. Is just it went through so many rewrites after Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian didn't go through. They tried to do a reboot, I think, in 1998, and it was going to be a direct-to-video reboot. You can imagine that.
Oh, gosh.
And then that shit didn't go through. Then back in 2017, they were starting to write the script, this and that, and then plans didn't fall through. So it went down in the dump again. But then just recently, they reached out to Michael Keaton and they asked him if he'd be willing to participate. He said, "Oh yeah, of course. That's been one of his main ones. He's always wanted to go to revisit." But only if Tim Burton came back. So now they're talking to Tim Burton, and from what I've read, he's interested, but he's packed right now with. I think he has an Addams Family TV series coming out called Wednesday, and to be honest, I loved Tim Burton back in the day, but to me, he's lost his. I mean, he's out of gas in my opinion. I didn't like the movies he came out with recently. Dumbo was, to my opinion, was just come on,
Charlie
bro.
and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, that one too. I think that one was. I don't know if that one was the beginning or what. I don't know. Maybe maybe he started taking medication and fucking now he's making all these fucking shitty movies. No, man, you're a maniac. Fucking let him do his shit. Take him off the Adderall. I mean, fucking, let him fucking be Tim Burton.
Yeah.
But so hopefully they'll get something going within the next couple of years if everything falls through in place. When Tim Burton's schedule gets cleared up, that's what I've read, that they're gonna go for it. And Winona Ryder will come back, which I'm all for. That's cool.
Yeah.
How you gonna fucking bring up? How you gonna have the Maitlands return? Fucking Alec Baldwin, 200 pounds extra.
I was gonna say. Yeah, it's like 305 pounds.
Yeah.
Ironically, Gina Davis looks like that creature from that she created. No, getting old, man. No, what about S-Rod's the good and the bad?
Oh, the good. I mean, of course. Man, there's a lot of stuff good about it. I mean, of course, the performances, especially of Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton takes the show, man, 100%. The little that we get him, man, it just makes up for everything.
Mm-hmm.
The story, of course, is great as well. Very unique, so that's the good. The bad, I mean, goes back to Beetlejuice. Where the fuck is he? I want more Beetlejuice. That's the bad, and I felt when they got rid of this dude, it was rushed. Then that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, so for Steve-O's winners and losers, obviously the winner is the story, the creativeness of the story. I love the bioexorcist, getting rid of humans. Like you said, dude, Michael Keaton does a stellar job. Losers, I don't know. It's like, where the hell is Beetlejuice? It's a loser to me, So I don't know. I guess that would be it. That would be my loser. But anyways, Skulls 1 to 10.
Ooh. I'd say for me, that's the thing. I love this movie, but I love Beetlejuice. So I want to give it an 8 to a 9. I'd say almost a 9.
So I get it. Yeah, I got it at a 7 or 8 myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the lack of Beetlejuice.
Right.
So, no, very, very true. Other than that, bro, do you have anything else to add?
With the movie, I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully we'll get a part 2 one day, and hopefully it's with Michael Keaton coming back. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully they get the band together. Like I said, I'm not expecting the Maitlands back. I think that's tough to bring them back, which they weren't bad. To me, they were boring characters, but I mean, they weren't bad. In the end, they were the heroes of the movie, so that's fine.
Yeah. And Winona Ryder's not a little girl no more.
Right? Oh, yeah. That's true.
She's older than us.
Yeah. And I heard rumors that Tim Burton wants to get Johnny Depp, little a gig with Beetlejuice too.
That'd be cool. So, he's in every one of his movies anyway.
Right.
Awesome, bro. Awesome, man. So great Beetlejuice review. Next video, next episode, we're gonna have a discussion on the Batman's 1989 through 1997, parts one,
Right.
two, and three, and four. And we're gonna have a special guest, your sister, Catherine.
Oh, yeah. She's gonna
So
be on. And those movies, even though they're sequels, to me they're totally separate universes. I call it or people call it too, the Burton verse and the Schumacher verse.
mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that when we get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Tell us what you guys think.
Yes,
Shout
and
out to all our friends and followers and family members. So, Steve-O?
right. Yes, thank you all for everything. We appreciate y'all, and let us know in the comments if y'all have any movies y'all would like us to review. That'd be awesome. We'd go ahead and go up
Absolutely.
for them and do them.
Sounds good. Bye.
Take care.